Welcome guys to the best of the Super Juniors. I'm here with Tucker.
Hello ladies and gentlemen.
Bloc A.
Bloc A.
First matches in Bloc A. Tonight our main event is Rey Mysterio versus Will Ospreay. Yeah, I know, right? That as an opening match, main event.
The fact that opens the tournament as the main event, it really shows you, I think, the level of the talent of this entire tournament. Not even specifically just the A block, B block as well. The fact that, you know, a legend in Rey Mysterio Jr. and a legend in the making in Will Ospreay are, you know, on night one. That's ridiculous. That's amazing. It's a true testament to the ability and the depth here in the junior heavyweight division, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep. So let's get it off. Oh, I'm getting a bit of echo. I'm no longer getting a bit of echo.
All right.
Cross fingers. So let's head into the show. We also have some pre-show matches as well as a press conference afterwards, which will happen at every show along this block. So we start off with an 8-man tag featuring all the competitors in Block B who'll be wrestling tomorrow night. Bushi, El Desperado, Trevor Lee and Ricochet take on Kushida, Rocky Romero, Kyle O'Reilly and Matt Riddle. And overall, Kushida pins Trevor Lee with a Kushida lock. Notable parts of the match is also when Kyle O'Reilly and Matt Riddle get in the ring. Matt Riddle practically a giant compared to some of these guys, although he's very lean. Kyle O'Reilly also with very strong and stiff strikes during the match, and his use of strikes to the arm of Trevor Lee helped Kushida with the submission.
I was going to say specifically that Trevor Lee and Kyle seem kind of like, I don't want to say if they're different in a way, but they're very similar. They're both brawling type junior heavyweights here. Trevor Lee, of course, does have the little bit of a high flying element to him, but both of them really are strikers, and I like to think that the little section where Trevor Lee and Kyle O'Reilly are in the ring, it's just fun. It's just two dudes hitting each other, and that's what I like. I like dudes hitting each other.
So next up, we have a Bullet Club versus Los Ingobernables de Japan match, where Kenny Omega, Bad Luck Fale and Cody Rhodes defeat LIJ when Cody defeats Evil with a Crossroads. This match was mainly the big men of the group, even though, okay, LIJ doesn't have that many big men, but in general, Kenny Omega and Naito were sort of on the outside. They occasionally got their offense in, but would much rather tag their partners in to keep themselves fresh for bigger matches. Evil did a lot of the work as well as Cody. That's why those two ended up with the pinfall.
Good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Now we head on. I think we're heading on next to. Yep. Next we have War Machine defending their IWGP World Tag Team titles against Tenkoji, which they beat. Come on, it's Tenkoji. They're not going to do that well against the Wrath of War Machine with their high-flying big man offense, which literally, dude, you have never seen that big a guy do a cartwheel.
I mean, it's true. Like, you're not wrong.
They are a very strong team in this division, and their remarkable agility for their size clearly makes them shine in the division, picking up the win against two pretty legendary figures in the tag team scene and in singles.
Yeah, definitely. Two veterans.
Yep. So let's get on to the big part of the card. First match, Beretta versus Kawaoto. Kawaoto actually is able to roll up Beretta. They go back and forth a bit, but Beretta's still really the one on top throughout the match. He's got far more experience, far more, especially tag team experience, and he's dominating through the majority of the match. But Kawaoto is able to put some forearms together, powerbomb, which is kicked out of, but eventually a slip up from Beretta allows Kawaoto to roll him up. 1, 2, 3. What do you think of that start?
Well, I definitely think it's an interesting start to the entire tournament. Definitely kind of shows the fact that in Best of the Super Juniors, with each match really meaning so much, anything can happen. And those stakes are raised even more, as I said, with every single match meaning something at the end of the day. And Kawaoto here, rolling up a... I don't want to say he's a veteran per se, but he is. He has a fair few years under his belt. Certainly not, an older guy, Beretta is, but outsmarting a veteran, or, maybe just, catching a veteran by surprise. It's really... It's a good win, and I think it means good things for Cotto, to be honest. But for Beretta taking this loss, it's not great for him, because this was probably one of the matches that the bet takers and bet makers, for that fact, and bet placers, I think they're all like technically the same thing. But that's probably one that almost everybody had Beretta winning. So the fact that Cotto picked up the victory here has shocked not only Beretta, but certainly some gamblers' bank accounts tonight.
Yes, Cotto officially top of the group for tonight.
It's good.
Right
good
now.
Stuff on
Right now.
Good
least.
Stuff for him.
So we go on to the next Best of Super Juniors match. Loki is able to push his way through Dragon Lee's offense, dropping him down for a submission. Loki is Loki. Forearms, kicks, hard strikes. Dragon Lee trying to get up and doing more springboard and high-flying offense, but Loki consistently targeting areas of the body to stop him. So knees, ankles, the leg in general. And he's able to get a knee bar submission on there, and that's how Dragon Lee unfortunately had to tap out.
Yeah, make no mistake, Dragon Lee is a world-class talent. He wouldn't be in this tournament if he wasn't. But at the end of the day, Loki is a different beast. This man hits harder than possibly anybody else in the tournament. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly being his only competition, but Loki has the experience edge on Kyle O'Reilly. And they are in different blocks. They won't be facing each other unless they make the final, I do believe. And so, really, I think in a situation where that match was to occur, though, I think Loki would out-edge O'Reilly. So I do think that Loki is the best brawler, the best striker in this tournament. And he's a threat to everyone he faces, not only because of his immediate impact, the way that he can win a match, the way that he can hit harder than anybody else, the pain that he inflicts, but the fact that he's smart too, and he has the experience. He can work you down, use the submission tonight on Dragon Lee. Is that going to affect Dragon Lee the next time he has a match? Maybe, maybe not. These are the type of things that you need to consider when it's tournament play that you don't need to when it's just a normal type match, because you have time to recover. In a tournament like this, it is survival of the fittest, and low-key, it might possibly be the fittest of them all.
That's the other thing. Is Dragon Lee... did Dragon Lee tap out earlier than he might have usually done because he knows this is tournament play, knows that he's got to protect that knee?
Yeah, smart guy if he did. Because, as I said earlier, every single match is worth something, but one match is not worth your career. One match is not worth the entire rest of the tournament. So it is, in some cases, I would say, smarter to just take the loss and move on with your knee still intact than be possibly out of the tournament with an injury.
Definitely. So we will go on to the next match, which Hiromu Takahashi defeats Haijuto. I can't say that name. We'll just call him Fujita.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fujita during the match with a fisherman's suplex. These two, this is an unknown quantity, Fujita. So it's a little bit disappointing that he had to come up against the junior heavyweight champion straight away, because he's got a very tough opponent to start with. Fujita came out with strong strikes, but also has some form of a grappling style there as well. But strikes are his main asset. But Hiromu's style of over-the-top crazy spots really helped him during this part. Hiromu using his suicide dive powerbomb spot, that pretty much crippled Fujita, and from that point on, it was Takahashi's game.
Yeah, Hiromu, he is our junior heavyweight champion, and let's be honest, I think in most people's minds that would make him an automatic pass to the finals. And I know it's not like that in tournament play. Tournament play is very different than just defending your title, winning a title. But I like to think in a casual fan's mind that that belt means a lot, and it does. That belt has been held by some of the best junior heavyweights to ever wrestle, to ever compete in a squared circle. And Hiromu has a different way about doing things that you alluded to, Charles. He's just a little bit, I don't want to say off, but I might say off. He's got a certain energy to him that we haven't seen, I think, ever here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think that can throw off future opponents and maybe even edge out some of the guys who have more experience in this tournament. Somebody like we're going to see in the main event, Rey Mysterio Jr., might possibly throw him off just because he's so different. And I think Takahashi has a huge chance at going all the way in this tournament.
Oh, definitely. And it's our main event up next. Can both Will Ospreay and Rey Mysterio top the spectacle of this? Well, Will Ospreay is just able to defeat Rey Mysterio in the longest match so far with a 360 splash. These two they start off relatively slow. They are both very strong wrestlers in their high-flying style, but they need to start off slow for this tournament play, and they both know this. Will Ospreay, winning last year's Best of Super Juniors, knows this. Rey, being a crafty ring veteran, also understands the knowledge, that the ideas of tournament play, as well as knowing his body is a lot weaker. Throughout this match, they start slowly building up the pace before the last 5 minutes, where it's jam full of high-flying and spots, top ropes, suicide dives, and the like. 619s are all in there, and it just that one last splash, Will Ospreay is able to pick up the victory.
Yeah, some that definitely maybe I certainly didn't account for when thinking about this match, going into this match, is the fact that the experience of Rey Mysterio, as big of a bonus that is, in some ways it can be a negative in terms of his body. As Charles also said, he's older. He could possibly, and I say possibly because Rey Mysterio is still a world-class luchador, he could possibly be feeling the effects of just getting older. And we might see that as we go through this tournament. Will Ospreay, a young guy, a great guy, a great competitor, he outlasts Rey Mysterio. And, you know, it's not a good sign from Rey, to be honest. Especially with this match going so long as it did. It doesn't look good for Mysterio, but never count out a veteran. He's been world champion in some of the biggest companies in the world for a reason. He's been all over the world wrestling. his style. Never conforming to anybody else's style, wrestling his style. And that is what makes Rey Mysterio great. Some guys can be really good because they're able to adapt different styles. A great wrestler stays in his style and makes you work his style. And that is Rey Mysterio, and that is why you can't count him out.
Yes, definitely. So Will Ospreay afterwards picking up the mic, talking to the crowd live. But we head over to the press conference where Cody Rhodes comes out and publicly issues a challenge to Tetsuya Naito for his Intercontinental title. Don't know when, but he has made that challenge. So no response from Naito, but a challenge from Cody, as well as War Machine coming out afterwards and saying, "We're the best, come on, bring on the next big team." So we end the show off there. A big opening night. I'll put up right now a graphic showing the table. We have Will Ospreay, Hiromu Takahashi, Loki and Kawa Oto all in that joint first position. What do you think about this heading for the future of the tournament?
I think it's early. I think you can't really assess anything yet, especially with one guy, Kawato, picking up a victory that I don't think anybody really suspected from him, and I'm not sure if he'll keep it up, to be totally fair. But, you know, of course, nothing against him, I guess, nothing to discredit him. He picked up the victory, he did. But I'm just not sure he'll keep that up. And you've got to also, you know, it's the first night. Anything can change. It's just one night.
Definitely. So we'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, actually, for the first round of Block B. There's going to be 2 more videos this week after that of Night 2 for each block. So it's bye from Tucker.
Bye.
And it's bye from me. See ya.